What if Deku had Sasuke's powers? Part 1. So basically I'm going to give Sasuke Deku lightning so he can make a Chidori, the fire obviously for the fireball jutsu, like the Uchiha clan signature thing. And I'm also going to give him the Sharingan, Rinnegan, any of those. And if you guys want Deku to have any other powers, just to make him a little bit more overpowered, please comment them down below. Now, getting right into this. Now, Deku is Izuku Uchiha. His mom and dad are both supposedly happy. Now, once Izuku gets labeled as quirkless, his dad ends up throwing a temper tantrum, but on a very, very bigger scale, like something that's far more worse. So Izuku's dad ends up grabbing a knife and stabbing Inko with it, and then burning the house down after dumping gasoline on it. Izuku, who his mom yelled to run away, didn't know what was happening. Was it a villain attack in his own home? Or where was his dad? He could be stopping them until his room door is kicked down as he sees a bunch of flames. He sees his father just standing there, and behind him was his mother's dead, burning body. Izuku obviously gets scared, but he has another emotion in this, rage. That's when he just starts shaking uncontrollably, and he's like, no, should have been able to stop this. As he stands up, as his eyes change into red with, I believe it's called Tomoho or something like that. The 3 dots on his eyes, that Sharingan. Not good at pronouncing Japanese names, but basically, he gets the Sharingan as he charges at his dad, as his dad sends flames at him, only for Izuku to dodge them. He's like, fireball jutsu, as he does the hand signs, as he sends a fireball. I'm not sure if it's out of his mouth or something, but he sends a fireball right at his dad, effectively just disintegrating him, as he takes one last look at his mom before escaping the house and running away. Now, Izuku now becomes an orphan. He goes to the woods, and that's where he starts to make a house. Remember, Izuku's only 4. He used to be so happy, and then he's basically turning into Sasuke. He just does not care anymore. He's cold to others. Basically kind of like Todoroki, but like less Todoroki. I don't know. So, I'd say a couple years later, Izuku has a nice house and has been training as he wants to become a hero. He doesn't actually know if his father died, as he knows his father was a researcher. And he knows that his father talked about clones that he could make. So Izuku didn't know if he was alive, and if he was still alive, he vowed to get revenge, kind of like how Sasuke vowed to get revenge on, I believe it's Itachi? So, after all this, we're going to a hero patrolling around the city. This hero is none other than Eraserhead. He ends up stumbling into a forest as he sees this weird home treehouse thing stuck up in a tree, kind of like how Senku's first house was in Dr. Stone. So he goes and investigates to see a 6-year-old child there practicing his supposed quirk. He goes up to him and says, "Kid, where are your parents?" Izuku just growls and says, Don't mention them again." As Aizawa's confused, but he's like, "Okay, but I can't just leave a 6-year-old child here. How long have you been staying here?" Izuku just looks at him and says, "Since I was 4. Eraserhead just picks up Izuku as Izuku starts trying to break free, but it's no use. Eraserhead takes and and just says, "Well, since you don't have any parents, I guess I'll just adopt you." Now, Izuku's like, "What the hell? Why is this random stranger just picking me up, saying he's gonna adopt me? So stupid." Now, after all this time skip, like until Izuku's 15, Izuku hates people who bully people, as basically that just reminds him of how his dad killed his mom, and he supposedly killed his dad or just one of his clones. So Izuku ends up beating the crap out of like anybody who does this, which includes Bakugo. Since Izuku has the Sharingan, he can easily beat him. Izuku also learns the Chidori and how to use lightning and fire to his advantage. Now, Aizawa also trained Izuku, so Aizawa's going to be like a Kakashi to Deku, basically. I mean, Aizawa's not going to be able to, he's not going to be able to show Deku, like, he doesn't have lightning, but he can still be a good teacher. Now, the Sharingan, I believe, also can copy things, so I'm going to say it can also copy quirks. I think it can, and I'm going to say, just to keep it down, he can only copy 2 quirks at a time, but that's only, he can copy the moves to it in a battle, and after this, they just go away. So if he sees his opponent use, let's say he was fighting Bakugo and he used an explosion, Izuku can also use that explosion to his advantage, as he can use it because of the Sharingan. Now, when it comes to the UA entrance exam, Izuku ends up getting a free pass. As Aizawa said, he wants to see if anybody else has potential, and he doesn't need him going around just beating all the robots, leaving none for anybody. And he didn't even take the recommended exam because he took it alone with Aizawa, just to see how far he could go, just to make sure nobody held him back. Now, once the first day he walks in, nobody knows who this person is, because they all just look at him and they start wondering, "Wait, did you take the exam?" And he's like, "No." Then, "Wait, did you take the recommended exam then?" He just is like, "No, I did it alone, so I wouldn't have anybody holding me back." As he goes and sits down, as people are already starting, to fangirl. Like, the girls are starting to fangirl about him, basically how Sakura and Ino were calling each other names, trying to get Sasuke to love them. Now, that's going to be the same thing here. I want you guys to comment who these 2 people are. I believe I also did something like this. It was Momo and Uraraka in, I forgot what it was called. I can't believe I forgot one of my own what ifs. But basically, that's what's going to happen here. And there's just going to be like a whole fan girl club with all the girls in 1A, which is only 6 of them. And there's going to be 2 leaders, which are going to be either Momo, Uraraka, Sue, Mina, Juro, and I believe Toro, but that'd be random because it's just an invisible person. But I can think of some pretty good names that could probably go along with what they'd be calling each other. Now, on this first day, Aizawa tells them that they're going to be doing some sort of ball throw, like a test to see if they're worthy of being here, and if they're not, he will expel them. Now, Aizawa, they all go down, and Izuku is not wearing the normal stuff. Imagine him wearing, basically what Sasuke usually wears. They ask him why he can, and he's like, "Oh, I just I asked the school if I could, and they said yeah. So, after all this, Aizawa throws him a ball and tells him to throw it. Zuko throws it back and does some hand signs as lightning strikes the ball as it goes up flying and disintegrates into the atmosphere, upper atmosphere, as Aizawa just says infinity. Everyone just looks shocked by this, as Izuku continually gets first on all of the other tests. Now, if you guys have anything to recommend, anything I could do better with this part, please go down in the comment section below and tell me. And yeah, guys, bye.